Okay, and it's working. Awesome. Before we even start, I just want to say like whoever manages or plans all these production stuff at Apple needs some like good applause because that event, so today's event, even like not even today's, let's talk about even in June and all the events, they were really well put together. And just wanted to get it out there because the production quality was like just out of the roof. So now, hi, how are you? Well, today, if you haven't caught up, there was an Apple event and we finally got our iPhones. So, yeah, we have iPhone 12s and we have a new HomePod. So, let's talk with the HomePod, let's talk about it, then we'll jump back straight into iPhones. So, HomePod, it's called HomePod Mini and it's tiny. It's really similar to the HomePod, but you take the HomePod, you squish it down, and you have HomePod Mini. Just a bit of design change because you're putting so much in it in small size. Some people, from what I've read, don't like the looks of it, but honestly, I'm welcoming that look. It looks amazing. Now it's only 99, so just about $100 US, which would be about 120 Canadian. So that's just not about that because you can get about 3 HomePod Mini for 1 HomePod. So that's not bad at all. Feature-wise, we do have quite a bit more than HomePod. I'm not sure if we are going to get the same update, like whatever the software update is running on the Mini on the HomePod, but if we do, that will be amazing. So you can take 2 HomePod Minis and you put them side by side or in the same room near each other and they will work as stereo. Now we had the same thing with the other HomePod, but it was not classified as its stereo audio. It was more about like syncing AirPlay 2. So I'm pretty sure this would be a bit different, but hopefully we can replicate the same thing on the bigger HomePods. Now there are lots of, I would say, with HomePod Mini that we talked about is that software stuff. So I will be going back and forth, but biggest one is Siri. How do we control HomePod? So according to Apple, Siri is a bit better at understanding who's speaking to the HomePod Mini. Let's just say you start up by saying, what's my update? So what it will happen is right now my Siri got activated, but let's ignore that. But what's going to happen is that when you say that, your HomePod will recognize, or HomePod Mini will recognize who it is, and they will just basically go over your day, what schedule you have, or if you're going somewhere, all that kind of stuff. And if someone else does, maybe you say text this person, other person comes text this person, it will know who it is and it will be able to correspond accordingly. So just split it up, and it should not have any overlaps between like different people's voice. Something super exciting, I think this is more of a visual thing, but like it really impressed me out, is with U1 chip. So if you remember with iPhone 11s or 11 Pro, we had a U1 chip, brand new chip that came out. That's a spatial awareness chip. Now with this U1 chip, later on in this year, we're going to get update in the HomePod Mini, where when your HomePod Mini is playing something, you can just bring your phone closer to the HomePod Mini. So that's a spatial awareness thing, and you have amazing, not a haptic feedback, but a visual, and then your phone will open up stuff accordingly to that. Now HomePod Mini can also be used as in the sense of saying Siri a song, but instead of saying play this song, you can actually say play something, say the lyrics of this song, and it will find the lyrics of the song and play that song. Now yes, we don't have Spotify or YouTube support, like YouTube playback support on HomePod Mini, so you can't just play Spotify stuff on HomePod Mini, but something you can do is, of course, Apple Music, iHeartRadio, and I think we had one more, which is Amazon and podcast. So that kind of music services are there. I'm not sure if there's a problem with Apple and Spotify, but from what I know, Spotify will not be available on HomePod or HomePod Mini. So now let's talk about home automation, or like smart home. And as you know, with every single device that is within the Apple ecosystem, we have to say hey, and then we say the command, and it all works together within the home app. So same thing will go with the HomePod Mini as well. You can say turn on this light, set up this scene, and it will do that accordingly. And lastly, something I think is probably one of the nicest feature when it comes to HomePod Mini is intercom. So it goes with smart automation. So intercom is like, okay, so we have walkie-talkie on the Apple Watches. If someone has an Apple Watch and you both are paired, like it's in friends in the walkie-talkie app, you can use it as a real-time walkie-talkie, hold, talk, they have the, like they get the voice and then they reply, all this stuff, and it's really good. Now having intercom on HomePod is like, let's just say you have multiple HomePods placed all around the house, maybe in different rooms, and everyone is doing their own thing. You want to call everyone downstairs, so you can just say hey, and then you can be like dinner is ready or something like that, and all of the HomePods or all of the devices will basically play your audio. Now in that, another thing is that it's not just restricted to HomePod, it will also goes with phones, watches, and AirPods. Now it's just not limited to the home, so you can actually be outside. Let's just say you have CarPlay and you say that will get replicated throughout the house, and I think it's a pretty neat feature. So it works on HomePod Mini, I'm not sure about HomePod, but definitely HomePod Mini, phones, watches, and AirPods. So if let's say you're listening something and that happens, intercom happens, you don't have to like stop, talk to someone else. It will just play in the AirPod and then you just reply. That's how it works, and I think it's a really great feature. I'm not sure how well it would work, so that's something we would have to test out, but the walkie-talkie feature works really well, so I'm hoping this will also be pretty good. The HomePod Mini comes in two variant colors, white and black, and that's basically it with HomePod Mini. Now let's jump to iPhone 12. Yeah, so number one, I thought iPhone 12, so we all knew 5G is coming, right? So I thought only the Pro models will have 5G, but apparently every single iPhone model, so there are three models for the iPhone 12, they all have 5G millimeter wave, so that's all good. Now let's talk about the normal model, which is the iPhone 12. Similar to the 11, it has a dual camera system, it has multiple color variations, and the new design from the iPhone 4 and the iPhone 5 just comes back, and honestly it looks amazing. It's like, it looks really good. And for the colors, we have black, white, product red, green, and a brand new blue. Now the display is a Super Retina XDR display, so basically an OLED display with 2 million to 1 contrast ratio. So it's really, everything you watch on that phone, or you're reading or texting, like any image on that phone will be super crisp and super, it will just be really pleasing to the eye. Now next up, something that I was super excited when I saw this, and later on my excitement gets even more, is that we get HDR, HLG, and Dolby Vision on the 11. Now I'm going to go on the 12, I'm going to go in detail later on. I'm trying to keep this video short, not too technical, but yeah, those are really awesome to have on the iPhone 12. So just going a bit more detail in the camera, as I said, we do have a dual camera system. One is going to be wide and one is going to be an ultra wide. They're using a different technique with a 7-layer system and all that stuff. In short, you just need to know that it's a lot better. The night quality, or in other words, night mode, night vision, is going to be so much better. You can now do hyperlapse, times lapse in night vision, so that's awesome. And just overall, the night performance, like no low light performance, is going to be really good on these phones, which will go from 12 and other two models. So we have total 3 new iPhones. And lastly, with the iPhone 12, we got something back that was gone with MacBooks, and that's MagSafe. Now MagSafe is a bit differently this time, so it's not just for charging. Sure, we have a MagSafe coil at the back with the magnets and all this stuff, which will be amazing. So when you want to charge using MagSafe, you place it, it just snaps in. Now just not restricted to charging, but you can also have accessories which are MagSafe enabled. Let's just say equipped, ready for MagSafe. So let's just say you bring a phone case, you bring it close and it will just snap really well. And also MagSafe will work even on top of the case, so that's that. You can even have a wallet case. I think it was like at the back, you can just snap, and that's really good because taking it out is going to be super easy because it's just magnets. Now after the 12 announced, we have a 12 mini. So as I said, mini is like a small version of SE2, so very similar, same form factor, but the internals and everything is of 12. So basically there's no difference between iPhone 12 and 12 mini other than the size, so that's good. We have MagSafe, we have charging, we have the phones, like we have the camera lenses, everything the same as 12. Now lastly, we have the third phone, which is 12 Pro and Pro Max. Now I won't say they both are the same because there's slight changes between both of them, but they look really good. The colors, there are 4 colors for the Pro, and I'm just going to say Pacific Blue is the best. I'm not even joking. I think you have the silver, you have the black, you have the gold, and then you have Pacific Blue. It's like really similar to Midnight Green last time, but Pacific Blue, it's really good. So we have that, and then same thing with the Pro Max. Now let's talk about what's different in these phones versus the 12 and the 12 mini. Everything that is said in 12 and 12 mini is just copy paste it onto the 12 Pro, but instead of a dual camera system, we have a triple camera system. So we have wide, ultra wide, and telephoto, along with a LiDAR sensor, a LiDAR detector. The 12 Pro Max, the bigger brother of 12 Pro, I'm sorry if this confuses, like the naming is really confusing. It's like super hard when you're saying all these names and you have to say 12 mini, or normal 12, then you go 12 Pro, 12 Pro Max. It's like really confusing, but basically the Max, the biggest one, has a bit more, let's say, extra punch, just because it's much bigger, so you have a bigger lens, bigger sensor, and all that kind of stuff. But something I'm super excited about when these Pro models can do is 10-bit HDR video recording, and that's insane. Not just being able to record, you can edit live in the Photos app and then share and capture that, and all this was possible because of the A14 Bionic, which is an amazing processor. Now we're just not restricted to 10-bit recording, we also get Dolby Vision HDR, and if I'm not wrong, it has to be the first phone to be able to record Dolby Vision HDR. And also edit Dolby Vision HDR in the Photos app natively. Now this was like super exciting. If you do any kind of filming in ProRes or let's say RAW or 10-bit, 8-bit, you will know how cool or how amazing this is. Now let's just talk about photos. Right now you can just take a phone, take a picture, and it's all good. The images are really good. But if you've worked with RAW, having the RAW flexibility is just beyond anything that you might want to compromise for. And now Apple has released something or enabled something known as Apple Pro RAW. What that lets you do is use the native camera app to shoot an image with RAW capabilities. So capabilities of RAW along with Apple's processor and all the Apple combination, whatever they do. Mix that together and you will be able to edit, save and share a RAW file within the Photos app, and that's so amazing. They will be opening this possibility of RAW to other third-party app developers and the camera apps and stuff, and it's going to be amazing. 3 things more I want to say with the 12 Pro is the LiDAR sensor. So we do have the fourth sensor. We got to see this first in the iPad Pro series, and the benefits of LiDAR is going to be first AR. So we're going to see this as a demo where they are probably preparing a room and takes a lot of money and time, and you have to build everything out of cardboard, see how it would go. But with the LiDAR sensor or LiDAR detector, when you're using your phone mapping around, because LiDAR can measure the time and distance it is like from object to the phone, so it can throw a beam and see how long or how fast it comes back and decide the distance between that. It's able to pinpoint and know exactly how big a surface is. Is it a human or do we have a 3D depth of field and all that kind of stuff, which is really good for mapping, AR and all that kind of stuff. You know what's really good for? Night photography. Let's just say you're at night, it's I won't say pitch dark, it's really low light and you want to take a picture. What would usually happen is when you click on the shutter button, it takes a while, the flash comes on, it tries to detect you, try to focus hunts you, and then takes a picture. But because it's LiDAR, it's able to throw these invisible rays, light beams, which can map you out, look or calculate distance between you, set the focus and take this picture like that. So what that's going to do, have a crisp quality focus picture even in night, which is really good considering there are not many cameras which can actually do that. So that's going to be super amazing to see, especially hands-on, and give that a full-on shot try. And lastly, to wrap this event up, 2 super sad notes that honestly were coming, we saw it, and that's that we will never, I don't want to say never, but we will not get a charger, so a charging brick, and the wired earphones in the iPhones from now on. The only thing we're going to get is the iPhone, the documentation, and a Lightning to USB-C cable. That's it. So the excuse the reason why they said that was because by now they're people already have lots of wired Lightning Lightning headphones, or they're using Bluetooth like AirPods, Beats or something else, and for charging there are already so many bricks out there, so they won't need that. Now the phone is fast chargeable if I'm not wrong. I forgot the rating, but I'll check that. I'm going to put that in the description below or in the comment section below. And we have few new accessories with MagSafe, like a MagSafe charger which works with the Apple Watch and the phone. It looks really nice, and Belkin also made one, so that's all pretty cool. And that's basically covering up what happens in today's event with Apple's iPhone announcement. It was not a bad event at all. Honestly, it was really good. I loved the event. Many people thought the last event was bad, so it depends how you see it, but honestly I love the event. It was pretty good. Stay tuned for more videos. I will be going in depth about stuff, unboxing, reviews and all that kind of stuff, so make sure to subscribe, hit the bell if you haven't already, so that way you get notified. And let me know, what's your favorite phone? Do you like the Mini, the Pro, or the just normal 12? Let me know what you think. What do you think about the HomePod Mini? That's I'm really excited for it. I want to get my hands on it and see about it. And if you want to get any of this, the pre-order starts this Friday for 11 and the 11 Pro, along with the HomePod Mini. But the Pro Max and the iPhone 12 Mini are coming up a bit later, so stay tuned for those, and hope you have an amazing rest of the day, and I'll see you guys later.